My name is Keith Kiper. I was in business with Dee's Photo Supply for 30 years before closing it and becoming a realtor. I met Matthew when I went to see him for massage therapy. Did a better job than anybody in getting the knots out of me. Well, we became friends, and when he started working his way towards building a Columbia Cafe, he would ask me about marketing because he liked what I was putting out there for Dee's Photo at the time. So we would have conversations on the phone discussing marketing, print. Internet was coming out at that time and how we would break into some of that. Then I was really amazed at Matthew for the way that he could put together things. So he had purchased rental houses, and he had all of that income going, and then he started selling them off to start building the restaurant. You know, keeping the money flowing properly without having to go out and borrow anything. One of the first times I toured the restaurant while it was under construction, I was marveling at this great stove that he had, and I said, well, man, this must have cost a fortune. And he said, didn't cost me anything. How do you do that? You don't know until you ask. And that's one of the things that I like about Matthew. He can get things done, and he's always concerned about the bottom line. A great, for instance, was when I was invited to an invitation-only grand opening at the restaurant. And the invitation read, bring something to sit on and something to eat with. Once again, thinking out of the box, keeping his costs low, and people loved it. And I would go back to see, did I recognize that knife? Or is my chair still here? As a person in the community, he really does care about his constituents. If you follow along the Caddo Commission and what they've been doing to make Caddo Parish better, you'll see that Matthew is on the headlines many times putting together efforts with little cost and great revenue. And I don't mean dollar revenue, I mean quality of life for his constituents. So I have tremendous trust in what he has done, and I have tremendous trust in what he is going to do in his next term on the Caddo Commission. I would never consider or even think of anything that Matthew told me that wasn't the truth, because he researches the issues. And so he's not going to speak until he knows what he's speaking about. The Highland Parade, right there. I remember talking to him about that when he had first put it on. And he said, Keith, I've rented the streets. In other words, people could do pretty much whatever they wanted to do within, certain limits. But it is that selfless commitment to community. So it brings the Highland area together. I've been familiar with Highland because my brother was the second president of the Highland Restoration Association. So I know there are a lot of great efforts going on in there, and Matthew bringing that parade brings so many people outside of Highland, because a lot of people have a negative image of Highland because all we hear are the police reports. But when we've got people coming from South Highland, from Southern Trace, from Northern Bossier to enjoy the parade in Highland, that's really big to bring those people in. And in my conversations with people, it's like, oh, we're going to the Gemini parade, or we're going to some other parade. Yeah, I like those, but my favorite's Highland. They all say because it is so family-oriented. Some people run for office to make themselves look better. Certainly, they've got some care about the community. But with Matthew, the care came long before the office. He's been out in the community doing work and then got on the commission so he could do even more. And that's why I have such respect for him, because he serves selflessly. He's not worried about his image. He's worried about the image of Caddo Parish and his constituents.